Ladies and giver-uppers. Well, so we've been on lockdown and you bought a guitar from a friend or perhaps from one of those shops where they flog stuff and you gave up. Well, obviously my first message to you is you probably gave up because the guitar was awful. So what I would recommend is first of all that you take it to a guitar tech and get them to set it up so that it's nice and easy to play, because that is the 90% reason that people give up playing guitar, because it was horrible and difficult to play. Anyway, let's say that you've done all that and you still can't get along with it, and you have now sold it on eBay, and you did say that you'd post it for 15 or 25 quid or whatever the post office quoted you, but you've got nothing to put it in. So what can we do? Well, I have on previous occasions made boxes for guitars absolutely from scratch and just out of scrap materials, from scrap cardboard, of which I have a selection here. So this is not a ready-made box, not by any stretch. And by the way, I am doing this with absolutely no setups, or what you'll see is what I actually do. I'll pause the boring bits, obviously, so you will need a few household tools, nothing too tricky, and all stuff that you'll find in the house. So the first thing is you'll need to make accurate folds in the cardboard, and this is way easier than one might imagine. So let's have a look at the bits and bobs that we'll need, and we'll just take it from there. So like me, the guitar that you bought was from the Cash Converters, and it was a Charvel project thing, which I've still not got round to doing, and quite honestly I can't wait to do it. But anyway, for the purposes of this exercise, let's say I've sold it on eBay and I've got to post it from here to 100 miles away or something. So here's the guitar. I am going to need this. You will need a sharp knife. It doesn't have to be a particularly, you know, it can be a Stanley knife or a kitchen knife or anything, so long as it will cut. You will need a marker pen or a pencil or a biro or whatever you've got about. I'm just using this because it came to hand. You will need something long and hard and stiff. I'm going to use this spirit level, and that should suit my purposes ideally. And the other thing that you'll need, what have I done with that? Do you know? Hang on. Dear oh dear, like a bad pantomime, it was right behind me. You will need some tape. If you can get on with some fragile tape, then that's great. As it turns out, this I bought from Poundland. You get 2 rolls, and there's no prizes for guessing how much that is. And this little box cutter knife I also got from Poundland, which was the same price. So let's lay our stuff out and see what we're going to do. Like I say, this is, I've no idea how this will turn out, but let's go. So as you will know in your area, every day of every week, well, certainly Monday to Friday, there will be a bin collection somewhere in your area, and we have the organic waste and also the recyclables. And I'll be perfectly honest, I have made tours of the recyclable areas where the chaps are collecting stuff, and you'll find all sorts of useful resources there, and if it's out on the street, then it belongs to anybody. So I picked this up, and this did have an office chair in it, and so it was a box to start with, as you can see, but obviously it's the wrong size and shape, but I'm pretty sure I can make a reasonable guitar box out of this. There's a couple of things to consider. The first one is, because we've got to consider the old Data Protection Act these days, haven't we? So if there's any labels on, take those off. And honestly, the things that I've had guitars delivered in, I had a very nice PRS Santana delivered to me that was in a box, and the box only covered the body of the guitar, and the rest of it was stuck up, wrapped in newspaper. I've had them sent in bin bags. I've had all sorts of weird stuff, and you don't want that. So what we want to do is make something nice and robust. Now, if you're going to stick if the guitar is happily in a case, then that's probably 75% of the work done for you. Because you can fold the cardboard conveniently around the case. But we're going to assume that there is no case for this instrument that I've sold, and pretend, obviously. And so let's have a look and see what we can do. So the first thing that I note with this very nice stiff bit of cardboard is that there are inside here some staples which could, there they are, some staples down here, and these could be perilous to somebody if they're not taken care of. So the first thing we'll do is we'll remove those, and you use any old thing. If you happen to have an actual staple extractor, that's terrific. If not, a kitchen knife will be fine. Turns out that was slightly easier than expected. So now I've got a great big old lump of cardboard here, and I do want to keep it as intact as possible. So what I'm going to do is, so even though I don't have a case for this, I'm not going to show you packing the guitar because we did that, didn't we, last week. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to lay the guitar on the most useful looking bit of cardboard that I can see, and I'm going to draw around it. Now I also want to take into consideration the fact that I'm going to want to put packing around this, or pack it securely before the box goes. Oh yes, and what I also would say is that, as you can see, I'm on a rug here. So any cutting that I'm going to do, I'm going to put this piece of cardboard underneath the bit that I'm cutting to save damaging the carpet and getting told off by somebody. So, okay, this is going to have to be folded this way. So I reckon that probably the depth that I want is going to be about 16 or 17 centimetres. That's what I'm going for. You could use a tape measure or just guess it. So you're going to want about 4.5 inches, which is about that. Well, anyway. So I'm going to draw around the guitar so that I know what shape that I need to work to. So roughly, so the guitar, leaving plenty of room for, this is going to be square because it's easy. You could make it guitar shaped if you wanted. It depends how much patience and how skilled you are at this type of thing. I need a decent gap at the top. So, so I reckon if I use that line there, I've already got something that will fold easily. Yes, I think that looks about okay. Right. No mucking about. First thing that we're going to do is make a fold along here. So I'm going to use my straight edge, and you'll find that if you do use something like this, I hope you can see that it won't, if you try and just fold it with your hands, you will have limited success. But if you use a straight edge up against it, it'll fold fairly easily. I'm also going to bend it in the other direction to make sure that it's nice and easy to manipulate when I come to putting the thing together. And it doesn't have to be a great big lump like this. You can use half a dozen different size and shape boxes, but the principle remains the same. Right, okay, so that's that. I'm now going to go on this line here. So I'm going to have to do this in two goes, obviously. And that should yeah, that's okay. Done quite nicely. We've got a fold there. Oh, you see, it starts to come together already. And then we'll do exactly the same on the other side. There will obviously be a bit of trimming involved. Oh, don't have to do the same on the side, do I? Because it's already on a seam or fold already. Okay. Right, I'm going to pause it because I'm not sure what I'm doing next. Here's another handy item that I got from the pound shop. Just a nice little stiff steel rule. So, yes, 16 or 17 centimetres, which is, our survey says, about 6 inches. 6.5, yeah, about 6.5 inches. Anyway, we'll see. So, the next one is going to be the fold across the top, and looking at it now, this will probably be slightly trickier, but never mind. And like I said, I do want to avoid chopping that lump, although you could do, just because it'll provide a little more structural integrity, I would hope. Oh, that was easier than I thought it might have been. Okay. So, that's starting to look okay. Now, how deep is this? Let's have a look. Well, would you believe it? That is roughly 16 centimetres, and that will do nicely. So, I want the bottom to be about the same. So this is going to be your top. That's obviously going to be your bottom, and then you've got your sides. I will have to trim material off here. And when I do, I shall try and remember to put this lump of cardboard underneath so that I don't slice the carpet. Right, okay. So we've got that. And right, so now we want all the sides, the top and the bottom, to be the same depth. So if I've got 16, let's have a quick look. So 16 looks too big, but you know, tape measures or rulers tend not to lie. So that's a mark there. I'll pause you while I'm marking this up because it's boring. Yes. So, as you can see, now I have made all of my markings and folds for the bottom bit, so it's actually starting to look slightly like it could become a box at some point, which it certainly will. And so now, really, all I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse and repeat and do the other side. All right. Let's do that. So that is all of my lines marked out. I've made the initial foams. So now it's time for a bit of origami. Let's see how that goes. Right, so the first thing that I note when I try and fold it all together is that these sides are slightly too wide. They just need about an inch or so cropping off them. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit more than that, but about an inch. So I'm going to put my bit of cardboard underneath. I hope you can see that, a bit of cardboard underneath, so that I can just trim that inch off there. Right, the same will obviously attempt to the other side. So the story so far is that, of course, I've started the origami, and we do have something now that is starting to look like a box that would contain a guitar. Of course, there's a little more trimming to do and a little more origami. So I will, because you know how to fold stuff and you know what shape a box looks like, so I shan't bore you with the details. I'll just crack on and get this done. So there we kind of have it. Obviously you will need to trim to your own requirements. Obviously make it slightly more robust with more sticky tape. But generally speaking, there is a guitar box made for, I mean, let's face it, we've made it for free. In fact, actually, it cost 50 pence because I already had a knife, I've already got a straight hard thing, I already have a ruler, as I'm sure that all of us do, and I got the cardboard for free from just outside a building on recycle day, and I bought 2 rolls of brown parcel tape for £1, which means that they cost 50 pence a pop. And so that is a guitar box. Obviously you'll want to trim it to your precise requirements and what have you, but generally speaking, there's a free guitar shipping carton. Well, not free, there's a 50 pence guitar shipping carton, and I went to my local courier company, and the nearest thing that I can find, which is actually a box that takes golf clubs or golf bats or whatever they're called, and they want 18 quid. Well, they did 2 years ago. They wanted 18 quid for a cardboard box. You can make one just fine, absolutely 10 bob. 50 pence will do you. So thanks all so much for watching. I hope it's hopeful. No, not hopeful. I hope it was useful. That was it. It was me who was hopeful. Anyway, I hope that was useful. So thanks all ever so much for tuning in. And I'll see you at the weekend. All right. And if I've got this the right way around, it'll be Halloween at the weekend. So, adios amigos. Ta-ra.